Hello, tonight our lesson is on dividing fractions. Again, this is part 2. Remember that in part 1 and also in class that we looked at if you take a whole number, like say 2, and divide it into 1/3 pieces, like this, that you end up with a total of 6 1/3 pieces. So 2 divided by 1/3 is equal to 6. And we also saw when we were filling out a chart and we were examining the first and the last number that the first and the last number, the 2 and the 6, were identical. But what was different was the second factor here and the second number here. And we looked at that and we noticed a pattern that when you're dividing by a fraction, in this case 1/3, you will get the same answer if you multiply by the reciprocal of that fraction. And reciprocal is when we take the numerator and denominator and we switch them like this. So the reciprocal of 1/3 would be 3/1, or just 3. So that is the rule that we use for dividing with fractions. Whenever we divide with fractions, we end up multiplying by the reciprocal. All right, so we don't have to draw a picture anymore. When we have a division problem, we can just change the division to multiplication and change the divisor, in this case 1/3, to its reciprocal, 3/1, or just 3. All right, so here are a couple examples. So let's do the first one. 8 divided by 1/5. I'm not going to draw 8 pieces and cut them into fifths. I'm simply going to keep the first number, the dividend, the same. I'm going to change division to multiplication. And now I'm going to write the reciprocal of 1/5, which is 5/1, or you can just write 5, because the 1 won't make a difference in our answer. So we get 8 times 5. The answer to this is 40. Okay, look at number 3. We have 12 divided by 3/4. Okay, so that first number, 12, is not going to change. The division changed to multiplication. And now let's do the reciprocal. Instead of 3/4, we'll do 4/3. Now, let's go ahead and cancel any common factors before we multiply. Well, 12, by the way, as a fraction, that's 12/1. So here I can cancel a common factor, 3 into 12. 3 will go into 12 4 times, 1 time into itself. So we get 4 times 4 and 1 times 1. So we get 16/1, or just 16 for the answer. All right, pause your video and write down number 4 and number 5. Go ahead and solve the problem or simplify the problems, then restart to check your answers. Welcome back from pausing the video. For number 4, 6 is still the same. Division sign becomes multiplication. And then since we're dividing by 2/3, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of that, which is 3/2. All right, let's cancel factors before we multiply. 2 cancels into 6 3 times, into itself 1 time. And so we get 3 times 3 is 9, 1 times 1 is 1. So 9/1, or just 9, is the answer. So how'd you do? Okay, if you made a mistake on that one, you may want to pause the video again and change number 5. But if you got that one right, let's see if you got the next one right. So 9 is still the same. Division becomes multiplication. 3/4, we're going to use reciprocal. That becomes 4/3. And I can write 9 is 9/1. Let's cancel 3 into 9 3 times, 1 time into itself. So we get 3 times 4 is 12, 1 times 1 is 1. So 12/1, or just 12. Okay, how'd you do? All right, pause the video and take the self-quiz, then restart to check your answers. Welcome back from pausing the video. For number 1, 18 stays the same. Division becomes multiplication. The reciprocal of 1/2 is the number 2 over 1, or just 2. So the answer is 36. For number 2, 4 stays the same. Division becomes multiplication. Let's do the reciprocal of 4/5, which is 5 over 4. And let's cancel the common factors. 4 cancels each other out. So we get 5 over 1, or just 5. So how'd you do? That's all for tonight. Remember, read some books.